Hey, hello guys. There's something exciting I want to share with you, and it's the image editor. So basically, this is a vector-based editor where you can do something like shapes and pen tool, things related to vector. I also added some image editing capability, but it's majorly vector-based. So let's just go. Let me just show you how the tool works. So we have the select tool. This is what you use to select different. That's the way the normal, Adobe Illustrator or Canva works. And we have the pen tool where you can use to trace out things. Then you close it like that. Let me delete that. So this is a shape that we've been able to create, right? And I can decide to remove the stroke or put the stroke back and remove the fill. And then we have the shape tool. We've been able to add some custom shapes. I can increase it later on anyways. So for rectangle, you can have cornered rectangle. Then you can have rounded rectangle like this. You can just adjust the like this. Then I can remove the fill, add in some, remove the stroke, add in some fill, something like that. You have the brush tool also. You can increase the size of the brush to change the color of the brush. Then you can erase whatever you've done. Then you have the text tool. So what I've done for this text tool is that we have a lot of fonts, many of it from Google, right? So you can pick a lot of nice fonts. This is Beber's new, very, very interesting font. Then also for image, you can decide to bring in an image like that, and increase the brightness, reduce and increase the contrast, the saturation, reset, increase the saturation, invert, like so many nice things to do. Let me just reset. You can also blur the image, right? You can also blur the image. And the interesting part is that there is no server, there's no external server. Everything is done on your browser. So browsers have become very, very powerful now that you can do a lot of these things. So maybe in another video I can go into the technical details, but this video is just to show you what the projects can do. So let me just do a quick design to show how to show some of these functionalities. Let me put in this. I can make it light green. So I just do a quick design. That's what I want to do. I used to be a graphics designer before, but that's a long time ago. So if my design doesn't come out well, it's not my fault. It's been a long time. Okay, so do something like this. Then I can put a text like this. So what I've named this editor, I've named it Over. This is coming from ouvre, for that's a French word for art, collection of art. So this is just a derivative of that, Over, OUVER. So I'll just do Over design, something like that. Bold. I can have this. So you know what? I want to make it so you can edit the text. See? So I'm making it. So what another thing again is you can actually center it. Like let's say for example you've done something like this and you are lost. You can just come down here, down to the lower right, click on center and it comes back. Then also the object, you can use the align function to center it the way you want. Okay, so I want to center it in the middle, but move it a little bit higher. So over design, that's what I want to add. Design. Since the background is green, let me just make this green. Complement. You want to make it complementary so that it looks good. Let me get this. Yep. You know what? Let me not spend too much. This is not a design class. This is just a video to show you how this works. And also, I want you to try this editor out. If you have any issue, you can call me and just report the issue. You don't need to put your name. As you can see, they are optional. You can just add in the describe the issue that you're having, and I'll be happy to improve it. I really want people to try this out. I feel like it's going to it will really catch on. So please try. Please describe the issue you have. Let me just let me fix it. Okay, and if you also need maybe a feature that you think is useful, also request that from me. It's something that I should be able to add it. Yeah. So for this design, you see, also can you see I'm moving it around, and I can just follow this to put it in the middle, or can use this to set it in the middle. Let's say, for example, I didn't get it correctly. Maybe it can set it back. Then I see that the space here is too much. I want to reduce the space. So I come to letter spacing in the lower right. And just do like this. Oh, nice. So nice. Design is nice. Let's put this. I'm going to use the same color for that. I pick this color. Okay, that looks too light. I can make it darker. Like I said, this is not supposed to be a design video, so the design, I might not follow all the design principles, so bear with me. If you're a designer, please bear with me. And also a challenge for you: do a design that is better than this using this tool, and put it in the comment section. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Okay. So now, as you can see, this might move around. You can actually lock it down, so you are not able to select. So that's another interesting feature that I added. You don't need to move it around, or if you want to lock it down. You understand? So text shadows and all that, I didn't add that for now. I feel like, I just want to showcase the thing that I have for now. Then I can add other features. Then if I want to add an image, right, I can just click on this image like that. I got this image from Unsplash anyway. So now the image is covering everything I have. Interesting thing, I can use this arrow to bring it down or bring it up, or in fact I can just drag it down. Very smooth and nice. See, but I want to drag it over the rectangle here, then reduce the opacity. Just make it to a little bit sure. I don't know if you can see it, but just give it some form of I don't want the background to be too plain. Just add something. All right. Then I can just add these at the bottom, over the image, increase the opacity to 100, and change the fill color to what we have on the text. Then just write something. The home of, just write a text or something like the home of imagination. Nice. Make it white because it's gonna go over the and use our align to put it. Then make it smaller, maybe very small. Okay. Yep. The home of imagination. So because this is here, I can just make it small letter. In fact, I think I should have that when this text is selected, you should be able to make it all uppercase or all lowercase, rather than change the text letter by letter. Maybe I can add that later on, or if someone requests for that. But for now, so the interesting thing about design is that you might not use white on this. You can use maybe a lighter color, so it blends very well. So I can just maybe add a small. Let me just put logo here. Okay, so I'll just add a small logo and I'm done with the design. Just want to show you that this is something that is beautiful that we can do. So what I want to do is I want to cut this into a semicircle like this. Then so we have unite, subtract. Now it's a semicircle, and I'm removing the fill. I'm adding the Yep. Let me see if I can edit the point. Oh, I can't edit the point. Okay. What I wanted to do is to remove the stop, but it seems I can't do that now. Maybe I'll look into it later on to see if we can do it. I see that my image is moving around, so I'm going to lock it down. Center this. Let's put a text in the middle and say logo. Okay, the logo is going to pick up the nice and put it in the middle here. Make it smaller. Okay, so I can just set both of them together. So what I just did is I wanted both of them to be this shouldn't be blue, should be green, very dark green. Let me see if I increase the stroke, maybe it looks nicer. Okay, no, maybe not, too much, like I said. Okay, another thing again is if there are elements or layers that are in a group or together, you can group them. How beautiful is that? You can actually, like this and this, I can also group them so that it's easy for me to move them around. Okay, let me drop this down. The final part. I've always thought about it, that how do we have custom extension names like Figma, something like that? How do we have those custom? What we're used to is the JPG, PDF, and all that. I also did mine. I have a custom extension for the files that are exported from here. So I can export as .over. So export as .over. What this actually means is that I'm taking all the assets that is in this workspace and putting it in a zip file. I'm also, like, for example, the font name that is used here, it's coming from because it's a result, so that's why I deleted that. It comes from Google. So when I want to export, I want to ensure that all those assets are in one place. So the Figma, the description of the elements here, like this box, the image, and all those things, everything will be in one place. So it's .over is basically a zip file that is customized so that this editor can read. So the reason why I did it like that is I do not have any server for this. Everything is in the browser. So when you have a design that you're doing and maybe you're not done yet, you can just export it as a .over file. Let me just put YouTube editing. Like that. So I have it as .over, and if I want to come back to it later, maybe on a fresh session, I can definitely start from where I stop. And that design is not saved on my server, on this website server. It's actually saved in your own local machine. So that is what it is. Or you can save it as a JSON file where you can inspect how the elements are defined. But it's more like now it's going to give you a warning to tell you that it's better to save it as .over because it's more compact. It takes lesser space. It's compressed, sort of, because we are using the underlying technology of .over is a zip file, and also it's version. So, but if you are okay with the design and you want to export it as an SVG or PNG or JPG, you can just click on this and you export it, and you can open it as, see, it's actually opening as a design, as a .jpg file. So this is how you just do a design. Very easy. But let's say, for example, for some weird reason you lost that. Let me come like this and do like this. New. Now it's clear. If I reload and I reload this page, I can't find it anymore. It was here before. If I reload this page, I can't find it more. So how do I get it back? Because I've been able to export this as a .over file. If I import it back, it's going to recreate everything I have done. So that's the beautiful thing about this. So let me import it again. So YouTube editing, let me import it. You see, everything has created layer by layer, the grouping, the image is gonna. So that is why it's important, right? When you're working with this and you know you're not done yet, you can export it as a .hover so that you can continue working on it later on. So is there anything I want to show you? As you can see, we have other things here like compress. Yeah, you can compress images maybe from a lot of, you can compress to from a like 50 megabytes to maybe 20 depending on what you want. You can also convert from one image format to another image format. Then you can also crop your images, but the major focus of this video is the editor, which I named Hoover. Yeah, so if you are not clear about some things, I've written a guide where you can see it at the top right here, guide, where you can go through the description of how this thing is. I'm looking forward to you trying it out and show off your design. Let's see what you come up with, and if you come up with any, and if you face any issue, please don't hesitate to describe it. All right, that'll be all for now. Maybe later on, like I said, I'm going to go into the technical details of how this was accomplished. Thank you very much.